Anytime we have a story in which two quantities are described as being equal, we can write an equation from that story. There are essentially two different ways that this can go. We can be told that one quantity involving our unknown is equal to some number, or we can be told that two quantities involving our unknown are equal to one another. An example of the first type might be something like this. Suppose we're told that James makes $800 per month, plus a commission equal to 12% of his total sales. Last month, he made $2,400. How much was his sales total? In this story, we're being told that the amount James made last month was $2,400. In order to solve this problem, we need to write one expression. Our first step in writing an expression from a story, if you'll recall, is to write down what the variable represents. In this problem, we are not told what our variables should represent, but we are given a question. The question is, how much was his sales total? That's what we're going to make our variable represent. T is James's sales total from last month. I like T better than S because S looks kind of like the number 5. T is James's sales total from last month. We chose that for the variable because the variable now represents the answer to the question. Now we want to just kind of rough out our expression. The places where James makes his money, well, he gets the $800 per month plus the commission. And then filling in the details, his commission is 12% of total sales. To find 12% of total sales, we'll write 12% as a decimal times total sales, T. So our expression becomes 800, that's the $800 a month, plus 12% of total sales. This represents the amount James made last month. We can take that back to the sketch of our equation now. 800 plus 0.12t equals 2,400. We only have a variable on one side, so we want to get rid of that 800. We'll have 0.12t equals 2,400 minus 800 is 1,600. And now we want to get rid of the 0.12. Easiest to think about that is division by 0.12. And we get T is, using the calculator to help us with this division, 1,600 divided by 0.12, 13,333, 0.3 repeating. I could convert that to a fraction on my calculator if I want, but I know it's a third. In order to answer the question, I think we actually want the decimal for that, right? Because I can't make $0.33 in sales. He made this $13,333.33 in total sales. Okay, so that was an example of a problem in which only one of the quantities depended on our unknown. Let's see an example in which both quantities depend on the unknown. Suppose that Alice and Carol are raising money for charity. Alice raises $70 every day, and Carol raises $50 every day. At the end of the fundraiser, Alice has raised $200 more than Carol has. How many days did the fundraiser last? In this story, we are told that the money that Alice raised is $200 more than the money that Carol raised. So the money that Alice raised is the money that Carol raised plus $200. We have to write an expression for the money that Alice raised and also an expression for the money that Carol raised. It's important to note that we must use the same variable in each expression. And that's where making our variable the answer to the question comes in handy. In this problem, our variable is going to be D, the number of days that the fundraiser lasts. Now, Alice raises $70 every day for D days. Of course, that means we're repeatedly adding 70. In other words, we're multiplying the number of days by 70. Similarly, Carol raises $50 a day for the same number of days. Again, we'll multiply 50, the amount per day, times the number of days. Our equation then becomes Alice's funds, 70D, equals Carol's funds, 50D, plus 200. Remember, the plus 200 came from the story. Alice raised $200 more than Carol. We can now solve. Get rid of the 50D on the right. And we get 20D equals 200. Get rid of the coefficient 20 by dividing. And we get D equals 10. Again, it's important to remember to answer the question. The question asks, how many days did the fundraiser last? We said D represents the number of days the fundraiser lasts. And so the answer to the question is just the value of D. It lasts 10 days.